Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to Moonlight Sonata. I'll get a new song sometime later. Alright. So here we are talking about the top 30 unrestricted free agents according to the NHL.com, I think. Right now though I'm on the hockey news, so take that for what you will. It's on thehockeynews.com. So, I just wanted to go over the top 30 and just kind of give my thoughts on where I think each player will go. I won't last long on every single one, but I did want to give my thoughts on where I think they will go and where I expect them to go. So like John Tavares, number one obviously is going to be a big one. JBR, it's going to be interesting to see if he goes or stays. And then you get to like the number 29, 30 of Jay Beagle and Jack Johnson. And Jack Johnson may already have found a team. Maybe, if that rumor is actually true. And I wanted to do this a few days ago, and then I thought maybe I'll do it after July 1st, and then I just thought, hey, I'll just do it now, just so that I can actually give my opinions on where I think people will go. So obviously, Evander Kane, John Carlson, and the returning Ilya Kovalchuk are off the board. So Evander Kane resigning in San Jose, John Carlson resigning, and then Ilya Kovalchuk heading to LA. Interesting to see that he did not go to New York. New Jersey, I mean. But interesting to see him going to LA. I don't know if that was the right place for him to go, but it gives LA another scoring option, if that. If Ilya Kovalchuk is going to be even half of what he was back when he was playing for the Devils last time he was in the NHL. Who knows? It is a huge high risk, high reward kind of situation though for them, because they signed to 3 years at $6 million or whatever. So, but regardless, John Tavares. Let's start this up. So John Tavares' previous cap hit was 5.5. I can't remember what the length was, but 5.5 million. And played for the New York Islanders for his entire career so far. And I can't remember, so looks like it says Toronto Maple Leafs, Dallas Stars, Boston Bruins, and Tampa Bay Lightning. And of course the New York Islanders are probably the highest suitors, it looks like. So I thought maybe Vegas would have been a good spot for him, and maybe that will still be the case, maybe it will not, I don't know. Looks like it's going to be dead set on either New York, Toronto, Dallas, Boston, or Tampa. But I still think Vegas would be a good spot for him, and that's where I think he will go. But I expect him actually to just re-sign, especially with Barry Trotz is now the coach. And Lou Lamoriello as a GM, so I expect him to resign, but I think he'll go to Vegas. But I expect him to resign, so take that as what you will, and my scratchy throat. James Van Riemsdyk, former Philadelphia Flyer, and then former Toronto Maple Leaf. His previous cap hit was 4.250. He is John Tavares is 27 years of age, and then James Van Riemsdyk, JVR, is 29 years of age. So he was again recently just with Toronto for quite a bit, I think, right? Like how long ago was it now? 6 years? Has it been 6? I actually have no idea. Has it been 6 years? Feels like it's been that long. But JVR, that's kind of it's kind of a tricky one, because Kyle Dubas, the new GM of Toronto, has said that he may bring someone back, but that could just be, you know, him saving face. Not saving face, but just not trying to be like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna sign him. JVR, I really don't know, to be honest. I mean, he could go, he can't really go anywhere, obviously. Maybe he goes back to Philadelphia. Maybe. I don't see that though, but it's a possibility, I suppose. Man, my throat, dude. James Van Riemsdyk, huh? I think he'll go to a contender, no doubt. I don't think he would go to a team like Buffalo that still doesn't have a goaltender. Robin Lehner is on his way out, it looks like. So I don't really see where he would go. I don't expect him to go back to Toronto. I expect him to leave. Well, maybe he would resign. But I expect him to leave though, but maybe he stays. Oh no, I think he'll leave. I expect him to resign. I don't know. I'm getting a little bit confused there. JVR's a little bit of a weird one though. But you know what? I do actually like that Philadelphia theme though, so I'll mark that down as maybe Philadelphia. I'll expect him to go to Philadelphia. I think he'll go to Philadelphia as well. I don't know. Let's just go with that. Paul Stastny. Holy frick. Paul Stastny's previous cap hit was $7 million. Of course, he was traded to the Winnipeg Jets and found the cap hit being retained by half the max that it can be retained. Thought I heard something. So previous teams are Colorado and St. Louis, and then Winnipeg, obviously. So I expect him, just gonna get right into it, I expect him to go to Montreal, and I think he'll go to St. Louis though. But I expect him to go to Montreal because Montreal has... Because if Montreal doesn't get Ryan O'Reilly, because I think that's where everybody thinks that Ryan O'Reilly will head to, Montreal. I think if Montreal can't get Ryan O'Reilly, Montreal's going to be like next best center outside of Tavares. And it looks like Tavares isn't going to go to Montreal. I think they'll be like next best center, Paul Stastny. So I expect him to go to Montreal. Dude, my voice though. I expect him to go to Montreal. I think he'll go to St. Louis though, because he was just in St. Louis. I think he may go back to St. Louis, but maybe not. Maybe Kevin Cheveldayoff will be able to persuade him into resigning, but I don't expect that to happen. Paul Stastny, frick. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'll be right back, boys. Drink. Diet Pepsi, it's pretty good. Alright. Mike Green. 32 years of age, the first defenseman on the list. Of course, Paul Stastny and John Tavares being centers, and JVR being a left winger. A wiener. Mike Green, 32 years of age, previously played for Detroit after signing with Detroit after being a UFA after Washington, and was not traded at the trade deadline, even though everybody expected him to be. So now that it looks like Detroit is gonna let him walk with just a really great stint in Detroit, eh? Mike Green's really good decision to sign in Detroit. Where does he go, and what does who signs him? 32 years of age, and his previous cap hit was $6 million. Does a team actually even sign him at more than 4? Especially with his injury problems as of late. I don't know. I kind of just because of Detroit, I kind of expect him to resign there. Just because Detroit always kind of gives their defensemen and their forwards just a whole bunch of money. Like, hey, stay here. But I think he'll... Man, Mike Green looks so weird. I don't know. Like, this, the green part. I don't know. It looks weird with this font style. It looks really weird. I don't know. I don't know. Where would Mike Green go? Because he's an offensive defenseman who's... I mean, he's still good. He's obvious. I mean, he's 4th on the list. He has to be good, right? I could see him maybe going to Columbus if they do let Ian Cole go. Maybe he goes to Columbus. There are obviously other teams that he could go to. Maybe even a Dallas. Vegas. I don't think Vegas would be that much of a stretch because they do have the money. They have the cap space for him. Another team that I'm like, hey, Vegas. I was going to say Vegas for JVR as well, but I just didn't want to be like, oh, another team that can get, another player that can go to Vegas. But they have the cap space. Why not? It's so easy just kind of throw Vegas out there. What just happened to my bandage here? Whatever. But it's so easy to say Vegas. Would he go to Vegas, though, is the question. Would he take a significant pay cut to go back to Washington, maybe? I don't think so, but... I'm gonna say he's going to... I'm thinking he's gonna sign with Vegas. But I'm going to expect him to resign in Detroit. But I don't like that. I don't like him to resign with Detroit. Detroit's not going anywhere. Not for a while. I mean, they could make a splash next year. Who knows? James Neal, 30 years old, right winger. Previous cap at a $5 million. It looks like Vegas is not gonna re-sign him. So where does he go? Maybe he resigns in Pittsburgh. Maybe he goes back to Dallas. Maybe he goes back to Nashville. I don't expect him to go to any of those teams. But where could he go? He's 30 years old. His previous cap salary was $5 million. James Neal's like a kind of a power forward who was really good. Scored the first goal for Vegas. Right? It was James Neal, right? Frick. Forgot. I was at their first game. I'm pretty sure it's James Neal who scored both goals, actually. But, James Neal, okay, so 5 mil. I mean, I could see him go to a myriad of teams, really. I don't expect him to want that much. Maybe 4-3 per year. I mean, is he gonna get 5 mil again? Is some team gonna give him 5? Some team probably will give him 5. Maybe Vancouver, even though I don't really want to see that. You know what? I don't really know on James Neal. Maybe Columbus. I said Columbus again, but I don't know. Maybe he takes a pay cut and signs with Washington. Well, no, but they already re-signed Devontae Smith-Pelly, so. You know what, I'm gonna say he signs with Columbus, cause why not? Big Joe, Jumbo Joe Thornton, 38 years of age. Previous cap was 8 mil. It looks like he is heading out, maybe, but maybe he is not. I'm gonna expect him to resign with San Jose, but maybe he actually decides to sign, or maybe San Jose doesn't sign him, I mean to say, and he leaves. But I also think he will resign with the Sharks, so I'm just gonna say expect and think that he'll sign with the Sharks. David Perron, another Vegas player. Previous cap at 3.750. He is 30 years of age. And I also just think he's going to resign with his former team, the Vegas Golden Knights, and expect it. Rick Nash. Rick the Dick. 7.8 million was his previous cap hit. 34 years of age. A lot of people have also been kind of saying Rick Nash may be heading back to the New York Rangers. Who knows? He's 34 years of age. Is anybody gonna give him more than 5? Any team gonna give him more than 4? Jeez, now the Diet Pepsi is making me burp. I mean, I would love to see him go back to Columbus, but that's just me. So I think he's going to go to Columbus, but I expect him to go back to the Rangers. I'll say that. Tyler Bozak. I'm actually going to just say I think Tyler Bozak's going to... I expect him to resign. But I think he may actually go to Montreal. If Montreal can't get Paul Stastny, I think Tyler Bozak would be another perfect kind of center for them. So yeah, I expect him to resign, but if he doesn't, I think he may go to Montreal. Riley Nash, the next Nash, another center again on Boston. Previous cap at I didn't even see Bozak's 32 years of age at 4.2. Or sorry, that was his previous cap hit. Riley Nash is 29 years of age, center, and previous cap hit of 900. Is he gonna get 2? Is he gonna get 2 million, or is he gonna get another 900, or maybe a 1 mil? Will he resign? I kind of expect him to resign. I expect him to resign. I don't see why Boston would not resign him. But, who knows? As I'm doing this, I'm gonna just kind of check over, NHL just to see if anything happens. Because, we have had some pretty crazy signings. Not crazy signings, but, we've had some signings, like Devontae Smith-Pelly, like I said, re-signing with the Capitals. Joe Morrow Yes. Re-signing with the Jets for 1 year, $1 million. JT Miller signing a 5-year contract with the Lightning. Who was it? Rust? Brian Rust? Was it Brian Rust? Something Rust signing back with Pittsburgh for 4 years. Like, had some crazy signings as of late. And then also, like, the trades that have happened, which isn't really, like, not trades that, like, are gonna blow your socks off, but I mean, I guess the Dougie Hamilton trade will probably blow your socks off, but so yeah, I expect him to think that he's gonna resign with Boston, Riley Nash. So. Patrick Maroon, 30 years of age, previous cap hit was $2 million. Last played for New Jersey after he was traded for something when he was on Edmonton. And in New Jersey, went to the playoffs but got bounced out by the Lightning in 5 games? Or was it 6? 5 games. 5 games. So it looks like he is definitely gonna... I'm expecting him to leave. Where? I think he'll actually head back to Edmonton. But, I don't expect him to re-sign with the Devils, but maybe he will. His previous cap was $2 million, and he's 30 years of age. Maybe he resigns, but I don't think so. I expect him to go back to Edmonton, but I think and expect they'll go back to Edmonton. Maybe I'm crazy for saying that, but I'll say that. Maybe we'll just do the first 15 and then end the video here. See if anything happens in the NHL. Still on the headline, Couture expected to sign an 8-year contract extension with the Sharks. Okay. So, number 12, Michael Grabner, 30 years of age, previous cap hit of 1.6, traded again to the Devils. Another player traded at the trade deadline. And just like Rick Nash, I kind of just expect and think he's going to re-sign with the Rangers. But Michael Grabner's that kind of forward that is speedy that any team can use, really. In my total biased opinion, I would love to see him sign in Winnipeg, but that's not going to happen. I expect him... Yeah, I expect him to re-sign with New York. Not re-sign. I expect him to sign in New York. Rangers, of course. Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. Yeah. Yeah, I'll give a wild card for like every player after I go through the first 15. Thomas Vanek, 34 years of age, $2 million, was traded from Vancouver, I think it was, to Columbus. I think it was Vancouver to Columbus. And of course, Columbus was the first team in Washington's way. And Washington got a little bit of a scare in that first round when Columbus had 2 wins on them. But then Washington was like, wait, man, we're the Washington Capitals. Let's just win 4 in a row. And that made quick work of Columbus after that. So where does he go? I don't expect him to re-sign with Columbus. I expect him to go to a different team. I mean, his previous cap was $2 million. He's 34 years of age. Maybe he heads to Vegas. I know another team. I say Vegas, but you know what? I think he'll sign with Washington, but I'll expect him to go to Vegas. Cause why not? I think Vegas. Vegas has so much cap. Well, I mean, they don't have so much cap space, but they have quite a bit. Carter Hutton, goalie, 32 years of age, 1.125. This is previous cap hit. Played for St. Louis, and I'm gonna be honest, I think he goes to Buffalo. I expect and think he's gonna go to Buffalo because Buffalo is looking for a goaltender, and the next one on this list, who is it? Robin Lehner. I expect he's gonna go to Buffalo to replace Robin Lehner, and I don't think Buffalo's gonna resign Robin Lehner either. So that's Carter Hutton right there. 15, Robin Lehner, 26 years of age. Was supposed to be Ottawa's goalie of the future, and then just never panned out there. Went to Buffalo, and again, never really panned out there, to be honest. It is, however, like this, like the little description of it goes. He's 6 years younger than Carter Hutton, so is it a better gamble to kind of gamble that Lehner will have a better career? Well, not career, but he will provide more useful for more years than Hutton, who's 32 now. So it is an interesting kind of, how you say, predicament that teams can go for, because Buffalo's not going to re-sign Lehner. I expect Hutton to go to Buffalo, because I don't know if Buffalo, is Buffalo going to go for a different goaltender? Are they going to go for a trade? Who's going to trade a goaltender to Buffalo? Maybe Buffalo just actually goes for one of their rookie goaltenders. I don't know. I expect them to go for Carter Hutton. Robin Lehner is a mixed bag. Maybe Edmonton takes a chance on him so that they run Lehner and Cam Talbot. Cam Talbot had a really off year this past year. So maybe they decide to sign Robin Lehner and kind of half the work to see who outperforms the other. Yeah, you know what? I don't hate that. I think he'll go to Edmonton, but I actually expect him to go to Ottawa? Because Ottawa kind of doesn't need goalies, especially with Craig Anderson in his really off year this year, which is really unfortunate. But I mean, I think maybe if you're Ottawa, you sign Robin Lehner and hope that he can revive his career in Ottawa. I mean, not revive his career, but maybe have a little bit of a resurgence. Yeah, why not? Let's go with that. I think he'll go to Edmonton, but I'll expect him to go to Ottawa. Alright, wildcard teams. Robin Lehner, wildcard team. Pittsburgh, because you know what? Pittsburgh may expect Tristan Jarry or DeSmith, but maybe they don't think that they're ready, so they go for Robin Lehner maybe. Carter Hutton, wildcard team, St. Louis. Thomas Vanek, wildcard team, goes back to Vancouver. Michael Grabner, wildcard team, the Jets. Wildcard team, Anaheim. Patrick Maroon, wildcard team, Anaheim, goes back to Anaheim because why not? Riley Nash, wildcard team, he's gonna resign with Boston, but Edmonton. Tyler Bozak, wildcard team. Vancouver. Rick Nash. Wildcard team. Who has cap space for Rick Nash? Montreal. No, I'm just kidding. Vegas. Did I say Vegas for Rick Nash? No, I don't think I did, right? David Perron. Wildcard team. I don't think I said Vegas. No, that's not wildcard team. That's not wildcard team. David Perron. Wildcard team. St. Louis. I think St. Louis would have the cap space for David Perron and bring him back. Joe Thornton, wildcard team? Boston? Goes back to Boston? Why not? James Neal, wildcard team. Goes to Dallas? Goes back to Dallas? Wildcard team? Mike Green, wildcard team. Mike Green. Where would Mike Green... Such a wild card. Such a wild card. Mike Green. I was gonna say LA, but they don't have... Well, I guess LA could make like a trade to free up some cap space. You know what? Wild card, because it's a wild card. LA. Paul Stastny, wild card, Colorado. Because I don't think he's gonna go there. I don't think he may. Yeah, you know, let's go with Colorado. I think that's a wild card. James Van Riemsdyk, wild card. JVR. Now I'm like the Diet Pepsi, man. Wild card Minnesota? Maybe? I could see it. I think the rumor is that looks like Minnesota may be trying to trade Eric Staal, so maybe bring in JVR. And then John Tavares, a wild card team. Like, well, I mean, the teams are kind of like right out there for you anyway, so wild card team. I mean, there's no team, right, other than Montreal. Wildcard team Montreal, but like I know he isn't. So, you know what? Just for the fun of it, wildcard team, the Winnipeg Jets, because why not? He's gonna take another pay cut. Winnipeg, because why not? No. John Tavares. Dallas, I guess. Vegas. I already said Vegas though. Dallas. I'll just go with Dallas. I have to. Dallas, whatever. So that's gonna be part 1 then. Of my thoughts and opinions and expectations on where players will go. Of course, if you did like this video, please do subscribe. And of course, wait, no. Please like the video if you like the video. And if you like the video and you want to see more, then you subscribe. And then if you want to comment where you think people will go, comment down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video, which will literally be the next part of this series. This part 2 of this. I'll see you in the next video.